Okay, these are the Maddad 16mm gauges. I'm going to do the full start off, the STI swing, and I'll do the turning off, whatever you want to call that, reverse swing. You'll hear the alarm on the initial. It's the initial swing. Those are the gauges. It's a Zero Sport pod. And they have the warning lights. You can hear them in just a second. That's a seatbelt warning light, but ignore that one. You can see the warning lights. That's because the car is not on. That's the boost, oil pressure, oil temperature. And I'm going to crank the car. As you can see, car's cold. I haven't turned it on in a day or so. So the pressure's up at about 100 for the oil pressure. Oil temperature, of course, is going to stay below 120 until it warms up. Then you got your boost. I'll turn it off. You see it has the boost peak, the blue boost, like the light. And it's going to do the closing scene. And they're totally dark. Okay, I'm going through the installation process. As you can see, this is where I tapped in to the side underneath the glove box on the passenger side. I put an elbow in there, it's a plastic elbow, and I was able to send my wires in there without a problem. I put epoxy around it just to seal it up, make sure everything was tight. I had the ground. It's connected to my grounding kit, which you can see comes around onto the block, and then it connects over by the battery. So it's all good ground. Then the positive, which is this other speaker cable, of course, runs through the back of the cooler alongside the AC hose and straight to the battery. Which I just tied in to the battery with a 30 amp fuse. I tapped in. Now the boost gauge, the hose, I tapped into the blow-off valve. That's where the stock boost gauge, the metric stock boost gauge connects to. So I just tapped into that same gauge, ran alongside the same air condition hose to the back of the intercooler, over to the same area where I had connected that little elbow, and it runs alongside the wires that I had initially put in there with, as you can see, the hose is back there, and it goes to the inside where I have the receiver. And that's about it for what I had run outside. No, hold on a minute. Let's not forget. These are the two senders, the oil temperature and the oil pressure sensor Put a hose around them just to protect them from the heat. It's got rubber hose all the way down to the bottom to where I have a sandwich adapter, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so I'm under the car right now, and as you can see, I ran the wires. Try to focus over here. That is sandwich adapter with 2 sensors hooked up to it. And I ran the wire up and alongside. Did some hacking up, of course, to get the lines insulated somewhat with rubber, just to keep it safe from the heat. And it's a clear installation, no problems except that you have to drain the car's oil, and if you just change the oil, you got to do another oil change to get it in there. But besides that, it's clean, pretty clean, easier to install this way instead of going up to the galley up on the engine. But the 2 sensors are part of Maddad's kit. They do come with the kit. The sandwich adapter, that's up to you where you purchase it from. I think I got mine from Pro Sport, or I forgot who the company was. I just got it. And right now I'm going to go up to the installation in the car. These are the installation of the sensors. So these are the installation instructions. The red wire is a positive from the battery. It's the one that you initially saw that I ran down. That and the black ground are the ones that went from the engine bay into that elbow. The orange, yellow, and brown are the ones that I'll be showing you in a second. The red, green, and blue are from my turbo timer. I wound up using for the orange, yellow, and brown. The yellow and brown were going to the fuse box, and the orange was going to my turbo timer. The turbo timer